Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. My name is Apo, this is Vincent, and today we are doing 2023's very own Godzilla Minus One. Now, apologies up top, I'm a bit snuffly today. It's we're going to get into the movie, but I'm a bit snuffly up top, so if you can't hear...
Tis the season.
Tis the season, it's cold and flu season. But this has got the 98% on the Rotten Tomatoes, it's got 7.8 out of 10 on the IMDb, had a budget of 10 to 12 million and made about 115 million US dollars. I'm going to give you the synopsis, then we'll jump into it. Japan has barely recovered from the Second World War when a gigantic peril emerges off of the coast. Koichi, a deserter traumatized by his first confrontation with Godzilla, sees this as an opportunity to redeem his conduct during the war. And we're here. And we're going to talk about Godzilla Minus One here.
We're going to talk specifically on what minus one means.
That's the question that
because also it's written as minus 1.0.
It is written as minus 1.0. So like maybe it's 1.1. That's the next. Maybe it's a trilogy.
Yeah.
Goes up to 1.3.
Maybe they're, updating it. Like changelog, hey, bug fixes and whatnot.
It's computer science things which we all know here and we all talk about here.
That's right.
One of the reasons we are doing Godzilla Minus One is because we've been through the gamut of the Western Godzilla films.
We have.
Over the past weeks.
We've done everything from the 2014 Godzilla, and we also did Shin Godzilla.
You were correct. We did do Shin Godzilla.
We did do Shin Godzilla.
Because we're big fans of that, and we said that on this podcast. And that's a good episode. Because you can go back and watch that, but you can also sign up to our Patreon for 7-day free trial, and you can get more content there, and maybe more Godzilla content. Who knows? But I think we're going to take a break from Godzilla after this, because I got to tell you something right off the top.
I think we also want to. I want to watch the original Godzilla.
So maybe we're doing that next week.
Maybe. Okay. We don't know. We don't know.
The
schedule is non-existent, really.
The schedule, there's ropes and things it's in my back room. I got pictures. I got a picture of you. I got X's over the eyes, and there's just ropes going through it.
It's the yarn connecting everything, but everything just goes into like everything's been tangled.
I've just put a bowl of yarn on the wall. I just stuck it there, but it's still in bowl form. I'm just figuring out where I'm going to put
a little post-it note to do.
The reason that we are doing Godzilla Minus One is because when we go back through the ones that we have watched, one of the big issues that I have found and that I've spoken about tremendously, is that they didn't get Godzilla right in those movies. They didn't get the feel, and I don't mean the character necessarily of Godzilla, but the feel of Godzilla right in those movies.
Because he's not as spiky in the other ones.
I mean, texture-wise, yes.
Texture-wise, he doesn't feel quite the same.
He doesn't feel, he's too smooth.
He's too smooth.
He's too smooth. He's Manny and Petty Godzilla. Whereas this is just like, I've come out, I've got barnacles on me, I've been in the water, I'm rough. I'm rough and I'm rowdy. But the other reason, now we're trying out new things, so you're getting me anxious looking at the screen.
No, that's right. That's I've realised that my microphone's not working, but that's why we got backups.
That's why we got backups. It's all...
That's right. So I can just stop this bad boy right here.
It's all successful for us.
It's all successful. And this is still going. Jesus. Yeah.
I think that this Godzilla movie gets it right. And we're going to get into why, but one of the things I'm very curious about is what Vincent has thought about this movie, whether he hits it with the same excitement that I've been hitting it for the last, when I saw this in December of 2023.
Because you've been hitting this.
I've been hitting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been looking at Godzilla, I've been hitting it.
Because you saw it. When did you see it in the cinemas?
I saw it in the cinemas, in the theatres.
And why didn't I get invited to that?
Because it was all the way in London. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I try to invite you, but
I got you.
The airfares just weren't working out now.
Yeah. Cost of living crisis and whatnot.
And like Patreon it took a bit of time for them to send
Yeah.
money.
I think you had like, it was either your man or my man got removed. I
went to call Patreon. I said to him, "Hey, listen, we need a wire immediately.
Yeah.
It's like we're doing content in London."
Yeah.
And they said, "Brother, I can't."
They got one of us over there at least. They got one of us over there. Yeah. Okay. So you watched this, and then you told me this is the best Godzilla movie.
This is the best Godzilla movie that I've ever seen.
Yeah. So I had high expectations.
You had to have it because I've been talking this movie up.
I mean, it's -1, so is it a prequel to the positive one or whatever Godzilla's? Because I watched Godzilla vs. Mothra, and that was trash. You know what I mean?
What about the two ladies in the box?
So I'm thinking if we're going backwards, Dude, the two ladies in the box was crazy. Also, apparently they were singers.
They were singers
And that
in
was
the box.
That was part of their like promotion things for one of their albums or something.
Right.
I was talking
They were
to
singers
they
in
were,
real life.
They were a duet, like a pop duet.
They're singers.
They were singers. I don't know
Right.
if they are still singing.
They could be singing.
They could be doing basketball.
They're boxing. They're boxing and they're singing. But like
Yeah.
not boxing like, Tyson Fury, like boxing like they're in a box.
They're in a box.
And they're two little ladies.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. I wonder if like when they do singing, like someone brings the box out, and they're sitting there.
I was about to yell out. Yeah, there'd be people that sign my box. Probably not something people would yell out. You know what I mean? Because there's
Maybe
other,
over there they would.
well, I
You
don't
don't know
know.
because maybe box means something different.
Maybe, yeah, that's right. Maybe it doesn't have another meaning to it.
I mean, if you go up to someone, you say, sign my box, and you got a box in your hand.
That's right.
They're thinking like, okay,
Exactly.
I'm going to sign the box.
Exactly. But you got a guy like me who, is short-sighted, hasn't updated his prescription in a while. I'm thinking, what's going on here? I'm looking left, I'm looking right.
And you can set someone up for a gag with that.
You could.
You hit him with the wrong box, that's not the right box, etc.
There's a skit in there.
There's a skit there, you put two ladies in the box, you say, like, sign the box, and we'll get into that. But let's get into, I hyped this up, and we're going to get into why I hyped it up. But the reason that I wanted to ask you early what you thought about this movie is because if you didn't like it, I feel like I can change you.
So what if I said I didn't like it? What would you be saying?
I'd be saying all the good things about this movie, and then you'd be like, oh yes,
Oh yeah, because that's happened before.
that's happened before.
Because you've changed me in both positive and negative directions.
I couldn't change you on the Exorcist, and that's a
No,
loss.
There was Exorcist minus one. There was Roadhouse, specifically Conor McGregor minus one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
There were some plus pluses in there.
There were some plus pluses.
There were some plus pluses.
Let's get into what you thought about this movie just up top.
This is a great movie. I was going to send you a message last night, and it was just going to say, heads really making movies.
Dude, they're making movies.
People are making
man.
movies. But I know you had things. I don't know where Patreon was flying you out last night, but there were things that were occurring, and I thought, you know what?
There was private parties going on, like Patreon
right.
funded private parties.
Patreon funded, because that $32 a month, it might actually be slightly less than that, or more with the exchange rates. You just never know.
It goes up and down,
It goes up.
But that's just
It
stocks. We're
fluctuates.
in that. We're in
That's
that
right.
business.
That's right.
You see, and when I hear that, it makes me happy.
This was it was interesting because you were saying in a lot of the other Godzilla movies that you didn't like them as much because you wanted to just see Godzilla. You just want to see Godzilla smacking folk and doing that kind of stuff.
And this is not a movie in which it's happening 24/7.
No.
But the way that it happens, I think, is the gold standard. And we're going to get into the gold standard parts and elements as to why I think this is the most fantastic Godzilla movie that's ever been created. In saying that,
this is a very we haven't seen the
we haven't seen the original, but we have seen Godzilla vs. Mothra with the two ladies in the box.
I mean, I could watch about 25 minutes of that, and that was enough.
Yeah, but now they're singers. You might go back and you'd be like, dude, that makes sense.
They're doing boxing and they're doing singing.
Yeah, dude.
And
we like movies about singing.
Yeah. Now this movie also, and we talk about the humans in the Godzilla movies, in the Kong movies. This story was, you just put this story in it. You don't even have Godzilla. This was unbelievable. I was at the end. I was tearing up.
Dude,
I was going, no way, she's alive.
There's some things I would have changed about that final scene. Like Maz was going a bit too. Like I know you've been at war. You just killed Godzilla. You just drove into its mouth. But like, settle it down a bit. But we're going to get into this movie from the very start. You got the main character coming onto that island with the rickety old plane saying, "Hey, sorry guys, there's something wrong with my plane. I couldn't do my kamikaze mission."
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you're there already, and you're like, okay, we're going on the themes of war. We're going on the themes of not only people trying to escape war, but like physically trying to escape war, but mentally trying to escape war. This is the theme, the background theme of this story, because Godzilla, at the crux, Godzilla is the scars of war. That's what the original Godzilla was made for, right? You and on occasion you got to do, hey, Godzilla's the scar of war, and then you got to do like, hey, Godzilla's like in Egypt, like running around, and that's fine. You can have both.
And there's a monkey with the mechanical fist.
A monkey with a mechanical fist. You can have both. You can have fun, but sometimes you need that grounded approach. And this was exactly it from the very start.
Yeah,
They get onto that island, dude.
Yeah.
Godzilla coming out like little Godzilla.
That was crazy. Honestly, I think that was one of my favorite parts of the movie because I was going, what in the world? Like, this is a Godzilla that is just, he's just doing absolutely insane things. He just looked like a dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Yeah, at that point, yeah.
He just looked like a dinosaur.
Just squashing folk. Like that. Drop kicking people probably.
Oh, man.
You see all heads flying, heads getting bitten like in Jurassic Park style, just like mouth, and then you just see legs. Wild. And the dude's just sitting there like going brazy. You know, he obviously doesn't want to die, so he doesn't shoot Godzilla.
Yeah.
And then you wake up the next day and you've got the guy that was...
You got the mechanic.
The mechanic who's just bringing the bodies. And you know what sort of movie you got into. You know that there's going to be some really hard scenes in here, some really deep scenes, but there's also going to be Godzilla whipping folks around.
That's what I mean. You take away the Godzilla parts, and this is still a top-class film. Oh, this is cinema.
And this is 100% cinema. And one thing that I get from this the vibes that I get from this, and we're going to get into the sort of the main crew very shortly, and we might get into them now, but it gives me very big Jaws vibes. You know, they're on the rickety boat. They got to go out there. Initially, they're not out there to hunt the sea monster.
Yeah,
they're out there to destroy mines. But you got the crew there. You got the guy who was the Koichi. I don't know. I will forget all their names. But you got the guy that was in the military.
There was the doc and the kid. The doc. I mean, I'll say it right now, right here, right now. I haven't seen a man with better hair. I've not seen a man with better hair. You know, there was wind, there was all sorts of environments. It was just unbelievable.
Unbelievable, yeah. Yeah. The guy that was in the military. You got the dog. You got the kid. You got the captain. They just bouncing off of each other. You know, they're bouncing off of each other. They're out there. They're cutting mines. They're shooting them. They're having fun. I was like, this gave me the vibes of Jaws, where it was like, hey, you know, there's going to be parts where it's scary. There's going to be parts where it's down. There's going to be parts where it's good fun. And their vibe together. Like, I would love to see, you know, I mean, how many more Godzilla movies can you make with these
they left
guys,
it pretty open.
Godzilla started coming back.
Yeah.
You know?
Which, that I don't know.
You know, would you do it in the same time? Would you do a skip into a different space? Who knows?
The thing that I don't like about that is it doesn't let the movie stand on its own. Or maybe it does, but there's a lot of there's speculation and things like that. You could very easily just have the movie like that and then another movie.
Much like Shin Godzilla versus this movie. You know,
that's right.
Same, I think it was both Toho. I think it had to be both Toho. And that's a production company.
Yeah. And
they had very good, very separate movies. Even separate in their designs of Godzilla.
Now, the actual... actually, we might get into that later. No, we'll get into it now. What do you think? Do you think the next Godzilla will be Godzilla Minus 2? Or do you think it'll be Godzilla 0? Or are we doing semantic versioning 1.1?
I think because the reason it's Godzilla Minus One is, you know, the war took Japan to 0 and then Godzilla came and took them to -1. Okay?
So Godzilla taking them down again then, is what we're saying. Or if it's the son of Godzilla, maybe it's a -1.5.
You know, and this is the thing. Is it going to be that it is Godzilla coming back, or have they got the one up, now it's Godzilla 0? It's like, you know, Godzilla won game 1, but like Japan came in game 2.
Well, Mav's got a game plan there. Actually, did they play today?
I don't know. We you know, and it could be today for something.
I think they might have played today. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's not part of this.
Let's get into one of the things, and soon we'll get into the design of Godzilla in this movie and the way that Godzilla functions. But one of my favorite moments in cinema, I think it's one of my favorite moments in cinema, is when they are on the boat, as in the captain, that crew, right?
Yeah.
They're on the boat and they first encounter Godzilla. And they're trying to use the mines to take it down, and Godzilla's just roaming in the background, just following the boat.
It was funny when they got the mine in his mouth, and he just mouth open, what's going on here?
But it's like, would Godzilla, like, you'd assume it spit it out.
There were some funny situations where I'm going, Godzilla seems like, he's at least done like reception to year 7. He's got some education. He knows what's going on to an extent.
That's right. Yeah.
At some he's there looking like a stun mullet going, oh, what's going on here? I'm just going to keep chasing this plane that I'm not going to get to because I'm in the water and he's in the air.
He's in the air. And I get close and I jump. And I jump in this movie. That's wild. Godzilla jumps up. Oh, yeah,
that's right, yeah.
That scene is fantastic. But then you start to get some scenes where you don't just see the head of Godzilla. You see Godzilla standing up in the middle of the ocean. Like it's waist out the water.
That's also because, you think about ducks. They looking calm on the surface, but their legs going. And I'm just imagining Godzilla with them thick legs.
Just kicking, dude. Just kicking. And Godzilla would be moving fast with those thick legs.
Yeah.
But there's a part where Godzilla is standing up in the middle of the ocean. You can see the full form. It's the best design of Godzilla that we have seen. And one thing that I like about it, and I said this in Shin Godzilla, is that it's a rigid movement. It's not free-flowing because something that big can't be free-flowing.
Yeah.
You get a tree, if you gave a tree legs, maybe the trunks, and they were moving, they're not moving fast.
Yeah, but you got to specify which kind of tree.
I'm saying one of them big trees.
Like a redwood.
Like a redwood.
Yeah.
They're not moving fast.
No.
Like, the only thing that's big and moving fast is like Wembenyama. Like that's the only thing that's moving fast.
Yeah, but his limbs haven't got a lot of girth.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's more mechanically able to move fast because there's not as much girth as a redwood.
As a redwood. That's right.
What did you think of the design and specifically?
I do think he's a bit bottom heavy.
He's bottom heavy, dude.
He's bottom heavy.
Cake, huh?
I mean, no matter the batter, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's what we do here.
I'm being facetious. I'm saying that because
it rhymes.
That's right. That's right.
It rhymes.
I think I prefer the Western new version of Godzilla. I like that version of Godzilla.
He got better eyes. He got better eyes than he did in Shin Godzilla in this one, though.
Yeah.
So you prefer, and I mean the 2016 version I think is a great version of Godzilla.
Yeah, I like that version of Godzilla because he feels more. He's big, but he's big everywhere, kind of thing.
Right, I see what you're saying.
This one, he feels like he's got. You look at his feet. And his feet are huge.
Like when he's going over that, like he's coming out the water and he's on land.
Yeah.
And he's crushing like these families' houses.
Like they saying, damn, you got some big feet.
And you know what they say about that?
You know what they say.
Exactly. You're seeing Godzilla step and the rubble from just Godzilla hitting the ground is killing folk that thought they were out of the...
See, I saw that and I'm going, this is awesome. I haven't seen this. And it makes sense, but it didn't actually happen again after that. It was only once.
It was just the because he went back in the water after that.
Well, even the other steps, you could say they obviously didn't do the CGI to show the rest of it. But that was cool because he was stepping, and it was causing the rest of the ground to come up. Which I don't know if if you look at the geology of the Earth, if that would actually happen. But it was cool.
But also, like you got tree trunks like Godzilla. No matter the
trunks.
batter, like you might get some like ongoing effects.
Yeah.
What about, and this is where I think, creativity is important in a Godzilla film. And I feel that some of the creativity is lost a little bit. And people would say, but look, they're in the underground in the Western ones, they're in the underground places. They've got all these animals that are coming at you. They've got all these different sort of titans. Like they're being creative, right? But I feel that they've lost creativity in just trying to throw everything at him.
You're going to have lost it. You reckon when they gave the monkey a mechanical fist, they lost something. They lost something there. Dragging Godzilla by the tail.
I mean, that is fun. As I said, I like that movie. I did like that movie. And you can have your cake and you can eat it too.
Yeah.
No matter the batter, you can eat it. Right?
You should cook it first, though.
Yeah, especially if you've got eggs in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people do eggless cakes, So like prior to that, like they could eat without the batter being cooked.
Yeah. So what we're trying to say is make sure you know what's in the batter.
Yeah, and like make sure your homies eat as well, and that's the key to life. The creativity within this Godzilla film is all summed up in the atomic breath. It's all summed up in that point. Dude,
The atomic breath is the best it's been.
has ever been better.
Oh man, you just have him, the scales, like lock and load basically.
And that final one.
But the destruction of it is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like another nuclear blast pretty much.
100%. And we do see remnants of like it later in Kamiko. I forgot her name. But when she's in the hospital, you start to see like, hey, maybe I got some. Noriko.
That's the lady.
That's the lady. Okay.
Yeah. I did notice that. It was okay.
So maybe there's some remnants. Maybe it is something to do with.
I thought
like,
in her
blast.
hiatus from being within the family that they've created together, she, I don't know, joined a gang or something. She got gang tattoos.
She's in Godzilla gang now.
Yeah.
When Godzilla goes through the city and specifically does the atomic breath in that city, the music is playing.
Every instance of the atomic breath was crazy.
Yeah. The boat, the one when they're
the one on the boat when and there's silence. You can see, because that's the moment where everyone's going to die essentially.
If this doesn't work out, we are screwed here, right? But I want to stay on the city very quickly because I'm getting excited. I'm jumping around. That's my bad here.
That's what we do here.
In the city, that scene when Godzilla comes through the city, the lady's on her way to the job.
Yeah.
She's on the train thinking like everything's hunky-dory, right? You start to hear sirens and then you see Godzilla rolling through. This is what I wanted. Godzilla just using his tail, swinging around, buildings breaking.
Utilizing the tail,
but also the music.
They had the Godzilla music.
They had the theme.
And it was good.
And the Godzilla vs. Mothra theme in there,
I didn't hear that. I don't know the difference.
That's the Simon Says theme.
Is that the Godzilla vs. Mothra theme?
I believe it is.
Okay, that's right. Don't look it up.
But it's it's OG Godzilla themes.
Yeah.
And in this one, it's not overshadowed and overcrowded by noise and flare and smoke.
She's looking back from the train. You see Godzilla, just the bottom half essentially. You hear the music, and then you see, Godzilla.
It's crazy, and it's all in light. They're not doing everything in darkness and smoke.
No.
This is a beautiful Godzilla movie because they're showing you Godzilla.
It's a good film. I did also like it being set directly after the war. I thought that was interesting. And I do, I did really like the initial scene where Godzilla was, absolutely limber as.
Oh, dude, little Godzilla.
He was like Wembenyama.
Doing Euro steps on people.
Yeah.
Like there's a guy over here, a guy over there, a guy over there.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Like the defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert, would not be able to stop him. And then after, I was kind of hoping for that Godzilla later.
Yeah.
But they did show that they, were hitting things. They did like the American man was talking about, hey, we're doing this, and
we're
this,
or
I don't know, something like
spaces.
that.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't. They were talking about his traveling somewhere. But there was. They made it clear that they tried to hit it again, and obviously, what we know of Godzilla is man's soaking up radiation and whatnot. So he got bigger. But he got big in a couple of years.
Big.
Yeah.
Big boy.
That was 1945 to 1947.
Bulking.
Yeah.
It's bulking season, baby. And dude's just been doing glute focused exercise.
Oh, yeah. Only.
He's just got a naval ship on his back. He's just doing squats.
Dude, that's why you had to take out all those ships.
That's why I had to take him out because you need heavier barbells,
That's right. What about when they blow up the mine in his mouth and he just regenerates?
Oh man,
that was crazy. That was something I haven't seen before.
The regeneration. Yeah, dude. This movie gives you everything.
It gives you everything.
It gives you everything, and I think it's important for us to get into just like some of the scenes between the humans.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed those,
especially back end of the movie, like post the Godzilla. Is it Ginza?
Ginza. Yeah, I think that's a area in Tokyo.
Post Godzilla come into that space.
Yeah.
Some of those scenes hit you hard, dude. Some of those scenes hit you hard, especially when they're all in the in the big meeting room together. They're all having a conversation about like, hey, this is how we're going to take out Godzilla. And essentially they ask like, hey, is this a mission that it's like guaranteed death?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, look, you don't have to be here. You can walk out right now. And then one dude in the back says, well, who else is going to do it if it's not us?
Yeah.
And then Head's just in there laughing.
The thing that was good about this movie was, in terms of the human aspect, was number one, Koichi's story was fantastic, I thought.
Great. It was great.
And also the fact that this was the citizens of Japan fighting against Godzilla because they lost faith in the government and the military, and they were going basically, hey, we just need to do this ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, the government's failed us. Doc was saying our country has valued life too cheaply. And that was a fantastic way to also sum up a lot of the human elements of this. Koichi being I hope I'm saying that name right. Koichi, I'm not sure.
It's okay. We're trying our best.
It's spelled Koichi. You know, I haven't done a lot of learning Japanese in my time.
And he's got a great name. Shikishima? Is that his last name?
Shikishima, yeah.
What a last name, dude.
But, you know, him going from a kamikaze pilot that couldn't carry out his mission because he was, a coward.
And then has the initial meeting with Godzilla in which it's sort of validated in his mind as to where he stands.
Yeah. He's always thinking that he's cheating death, like he should be dead.
It's crazy.
He's going through that. I'm actually dead. Is this a dream?
When the neighbor comes through and she's mad because he's not dead.
Yeah.
You know?
This is your fault. Because he's going back to rubble. Her kids all died. His parents died.
Far out. You know, the whole sort of subplot of not the subplot, the underlying plot of I'm still fighting this war. That just hits you right here. And they understand that with the kid, they want to keep him away from the war. Tell him there's better. What was the quote that the captain says? Something along the lines of essentially, it's just as brave not going to war. Or something along those lines. And that hit me when the kid's yelling he wants to help out.
Yeah.
And I mean, subsequently he does. And that's a very much a, what's it called, scene. That's like a, hey, we got Palpatine back, but here's 3,000 million ships.
Tugboat. Hey, we got, instead of that situation, we've got maybe 30 tugboats.
Yeah, we got 30 tugboats.
Yeah.
But they came out of nowhere.
It was also funny because how did they know that they were needed as tugboats? What if they were going, hey, we're here? Oh, okay.
What are you going to do?
I mean...
We're just going to ram into Godzilla, I guess. And I mean, any which way you could tug on Godzilla, I don't know what would happen. Any which way.
I mean, just the fact that, Koichi comes home, he's lost everything. He's lost everything. And then some lady hands him a kid.
It says, hey.
And then they're just...
This is your new life.
Yeah.
Take it on.
But the way that is, you just got to pick up pieces and put them together however you can.
Which is what happens when you come back to a space of rubble. Physical, mental,
Crazy. All
sorts of rubble. And then it just accumulates in just epic scenes between the humans and Godzilla.
When they were in Ginza, and Noriko pushes Koichi out of the way. Oh, dude, and she gets, well, it looks like she gets pieced.
She goes flying.
Because his whole thing is, I'm just cheating death. I should be dead.
Yeah. And he goes flying too, I will say that. Noriko got some hands on it.
Oh, yeah.
Noriko picked the man up by his belt buckle and just threw him.
Oh, man. It was just...
Fantastic movie, dude. Fantastic movie.
At the end, I was tearing up.
Dude, when they're... Oh,
I wasn't sobbing.
No,
but I was tearing up.
We'll talk about that.
I was tearing up because that was, you think the whole thing. You think he's gonna, redeem himself by essentially
killing
himself by flying his plane into Godzilla's mouth with the bombs, and blowing up.
And when the mechanic coming back late, it's hilarious that he's like, how am I going to get this mechanic out? I'm just going to trash talk him.
Yeah.
I'm going to trash talk him until he comes out and beats me up. And then the mechanic has, he understands
That's even that part was fantastic because at the start, he's the only one, him and Koichi were the only ones left on the Odo Island.
Yeah.
And he was going this is your fault. This is your fault. He hands him all the pictures of all the people that died. And he held on to them.
Crazy.
And then the fact that he comes, what's his name, Tachibana, the mechanic, at the end, he's going, you don't need to die. It's like pull this lever essentially.
Man, and it's a roundabout premise of this movie is about that you need to live.
Yeah, you need to survive, and obviously not.
Like regardless of what situation that you are going into in this setting, the goal is to just live and to try to push past where you're at. It is a fantastic movie from top to bottom. Like you start off this movie on a high, you finish off this movie on a high in regards to, when I say high, I mean like a good time.
Yeah.
And all throughout, there's not many troughs. It all seems to be just one streamlined peak across this entire film, which really wouldn't mean that there's a peak because, it's just one line. But it's a high line.
But it's a streamlined peak. It's a streamlined peak. Like you draw a peak and then you streamline it. Godzilla Minus One. I also did love when he gets in the plane and then he's got his little book. He's got the pictures of all the guys that died, and then he's got the picture that Akiko, I think that's the kid.
Oh yeah.
Drew of him and Noriko and the kid, and it's just like you got the past, you got the future.
Wow, man.
You know what I mean?
They'll hit you with that in Godzilla Minus One.
And that's not even he goes, he looks at the pictures, he looks at the drawing.
That's right. He looks at what his life is going to be if he continues to live.
And the fact that is, in that last kind of scene, you obviously know that he's there wrestling with things like, maybe I'll just end it all.
Maybe I'll just do it because he didn't know that although she's not his wife.
He was prepared. He was prepared to die.
Yeah.
Because he gave the letter with the money and it looked like the birth or the adoption papers, the birth certificate or whatever of the kid to the neighbor. So he was prepared.
And also when he had started this whole process, his goal was to just put bombs in this thing. I'm gonna run it into Godzilla's mouth.
Yeah.
He didn't know that there was the ejection seat.
That's right.
Ejecto-cedo cars. He didn't know about that. He was driving at the end. He looked to his left, and the guy from Too Fast Too Furious was there. He said ejecto-cedo cars. What's that guy's name?
I don't know.
Tyrese. Tyrese was there. Yeah. Let's get into the rating, and then we'll get out of here.
This has got to be an 8.5 to 9.
I was going to say this is a straight up 9.
Yeah, this is a good movie. I think 9 is a good movie. Even the end, the end. I was kind of thinking, I was half before the thing going, yeah, he's going to live, and is that going to be a bit of a cop out? Because whenever I think this is the reaction of a lot of people. It's like, oh, they died, but they survived. It's kind of a bit of a cop out. But I don't know. In this, I think because it was a very emotional end to the movie, and it was, the pieces that they picked up are actually, they're still there or whatever. So I can forgive that.
It was also set up well enough as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, you could understand that there was an opportunity for him to survive prior to him actually surviving. Yeah. It's not like, something just blew up, like Vin Diesel was sitting there, like Vin Diesel dead. It's Fast and the Furious 18, Vin Diesel dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. He's out of the movies from now on. And then Vin Diesel just walks out and he's like, hey, this whole time I had like ejecto-cedo in there.
They wiped my memory, man.
They wiped my memory, but all I knew is if I press this button, it's ejecto-cedo, so I was out. So I was good. I'm good now. They set it up really well, and as you said, like they hit you with an emotional finish. And the one of the final lines of the movie is your war finally over.
Yeah. Oh, that was fantastic. Man. And the reality of the situation is, trauma and whatnot. So no, it's not over, unfortunately for him. Yeah. But
and like Godzilla ain't over either because Godzilla's back.
That's right.
And then they hit you with the thing.
Yeah, that's right. You just got to find out if we're going more negative or positive. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's all positive from us.
It's all positive from us. That was a fantastic movie. I enjoyed it very much.
9 out of 10.
I was there, my partner on the couch. I'm like tearing up. She knows that I'm watching a Godzilla movie. You know what I mean? She's probably looking at me going, it's just a big ass lizard. What are you crying for, bro?
Look at all this cake. And she probably actually, you know what? She probably said to you, that was Ejectocito. This being the back catalogue.
Talk soon.